This week in AI was insane, and we've gathered only the most important things to share with you, including I just cloned my voice. Mike, do you want to hear it?
Yeah, let's do it.
China is winning the AI race. I am wondering if Sam Altman is sleeping with an open eye.
Wow, it's not long until this thing can do the entire podcast for us.
Yeah, just not my stupid jokes.
Yeah, it's good for you. That's like the only part that AI will never be able to copy. Never in a million years.
Yeah, let's get into it. So another Chinese model called Qwen 2 from Alibaba has entered the AI race. But is it better, faster, and free, and open source? And can it control your computer? Well, let's talk about it. So Qwen 2 just launched their model here, and it is better at solving different tasks than Gemini 2, Flash, GPT-04, Claude 3.5 Sonnet. And you can actually use this right now by going to chat.qwenlm.ai. It's completely free. You can't even find a paid option. But my question was really, is it better than the other models that we have been testing before? And is this like establishing the Chinese dominance in AI after we got all the DeepSeek news and stuff like that? And Mike, you tested Quen a little bit, right?
I did test the Quen a little bit before, and it's very comparable to the other models. Even if you look at the graph, the differences on the benchmarks are very, I don't want to say tiny, but yeah, I mean, not this one maybe,
Yeah,
but
this one was the
from the
vision and language model. So apparently that's like
vision and
the
language.
number one thing that they're the best at is vision and
Mhm.
language. And that's like their model that they are showing right here.
Yeah, but from the everyday user point of view, maybe there isn't so much of a difference between the previous models, between ChatGPT and Claude. It's when you go into like very analytical and those complex tasks that you can give LLMs, that's when you notice the difference. And
Yeah,
those
exactly
benchmarks
right.
kind of show it.
And that brings me to the perfect point of like the personal or not the personalization, but the personality of an actual LLM. When you chat with Claude, for example, it chats back to you in a sort of like more conversational way, while OpenAI might be a little bit more like educational type thing, and DeepSeek being all like the overthinker. And I think that's one of the reasons people love the DeepSeek as well, is just because when you see the thinking, it feels so human and it gives such human responses that they're like, I like this guy. He's kind of like me, you know?
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm thinking of when I see how DeepSeek thinks. And with the conversational style, one of the areas that Quen, does well in is the role play. And when you actually give it a role, it will do well. I haven't tested it enough, but it will do a little bit better job at getting into that role, and
Hmm.
that's how you can play around with different conversation styles, different response styles. If you want the response to be more concise, it's very comparable, but just a little bit better than
Yeah.
other models.
Yeah. And I was testing it a little bit myself. I'll share a little bit more about that at the end. But one of the things that you talked about here is that Quen 2.5 Max has used the same model or style of training that DeepSeek is using, where it has, and the way to explain it is like, unlike traditional AI models that use all their parameters for every task, MOE models like Quen 2.5 Max and DeepSeek V3 activate only the most relevant parts of the model at any given time. So that means that hey, all of this is available, but when you actually prompt it, it's only going to use maybe say 10%, 20% of the actual people that they need in order to give the response back, which is really an interesting, and that was kind of like a breakthrough moment for the Chinese AI companies here as well.
Yeah, and that kind of explains why OpenAI O1 is just so painfully slow sometimes. Because like they made the model just access all the knowledge at the same time. And it's maybe not the most cost-effective way. Whereas, those companies just come in and have this different method of just LLM responding to us, right? It's yeah, very, very clever, I
Yeah,
would say.
and that's how they get the price down when you do it with the API and stuff like that. So that's really cool. There is some negative things with Quen that I think is the biggest thing, and that is that it does not have a reasoning model. So you can see here in Quen 2.5 plus the 7.2b instruct, and these as well, they are LLMs. They are not a reasoning model like, for example, we have with the R1 and the O1. And for me, I think I'm getting spoiled. I want the reasoning and I really want the thinking in order to get the best results. And now I've even started using ChatGPT O1 because R1 was too busy. There was way too many people on it, so I couldn't use it. But now I'm just using the O1 model inside of ChatGPT to get better responses. So I did a little bit of testing myself on here, but first I want to show all the things that it can actually do. So here is actually the article from Alibaba Cloud. And obviously, you guys probably know Alibaba. They're an e-commerce owner. AliExpress and Alibaba are obviously suppliers of a lot of e-commerce products around the world. But they're also moving into AI and trying to make some models themselves. So they have the Quen VL. So this is the large vision model of the Quen series. It generates content based on images, text, and bounding boxes as input. So we've seen this as well before, vision models. They have Quen Audio, which is a large audio language model, the Quen series, that accepts text and diverse audio files. It also was able to contextualize hours of video footage, which I found very interesting. They have the coder, they have the 2.5 math, and here they do show some examples. I checked them out. And one of the big things that I think was very interesting was that I saw that the video model is actually not that bad. So take a look at this Quen 2.5 Max. This is the image model, and it looks quite different than any of the other ones that we've tested before, right?
It looks a little bit different, right? Yeah. It almost looks like a previous version of, again, I'm not expert in AI video at all, but it looks like a previous version of Runway that we had like some time ago. It looks almost like this to me.
Yeah, it does look a little bit like that when it comes to the morphing on the face. But what I'm surprised with is that you can actually see the weight and the muscles have extreme coherent. Like, look at the muscle of the left leg now and the shoulder blade actually popping up, which means that it must be, I don't know how it was trained, but that is something that many AI models actually don't do that well. And the muscle of the skin and everything like that is actually looking really good.
And probably you'll never know what data it was trained on because that's one part they never tell us.
Yeah, if you ever posted anything online, it's up for grabs. Okay, so be careful, guys. There was some other Twitter people talking about it, and it can generate images like DALL-E 3. I didn't test the image model myself. I need more comparisons. The video model, they have here as well the Quen Twitter here is releasing these stats, and I want to say to everyone, like, when you see these stats, I don't know if I take them into consideration that much anymore. it really is about testing the models themselves and finding out if it's a good use case for you. Because these are all like very specific questions that they're test on, whether it's math or language or a lot of other things.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, everyone uses the models in different ways. So it's all about what kind of use case you have and which model can help you best with that. So I highly just encourage you to just go ahead and test different models on your specific queries, questions, and just finding the one that works best for you, basically.
Yeah, whether it's like the personality that I talked about, or if it's actually just the capabilities of the software themselves. And that's what I want to talk about now. So I tried the Quen search. So there's a web search here, and I was asking the question, I need your help with crafting a video and finding sources for a video where the title is Forget ChatGPT's $200 per month operator. This alternative is free. Talking about the OpenAI's operator first, then the Quen model use, and then the browser use here. Make it structured so I can talk about it in the podcast and show sources in English. And pretty fair, right? Pretty fair prompt, pretty specific prompt. And what it actually did, what it did was give me a bunch of sources here, which was how to create a video using ChatGPT AI Studios. ChatGPT sent me a link, thus went beyond its capabilities. Make a birthday video message montage.
Is that what you asked for?
Yeah, can you make me a birthday video message montage? And the last one too, how to research SimSec results on Google, where it actually showed me the TikTok search page. And that's what it said was the sources.
I mean, I think it's just give me English sources. Like that's the only part you understood. Like it only give you English sources, but the most random possible as well.
So with this, it's obviously like, okay, I can give it the benefit of the doubt, but I just want the reasoning model here, because the reasoning model should like, oh, what is the user actually asking for? Oh, he's asking for operator. Oh, I know operator. He's asking for the Quen model. Okay, I know what that is. Okay, now I'm going to search. And then it will actually search and it will actually give me the right answers. And yeah, it failed. Bad test. And I don't know if it was my prompt or if I have to try it again, but I really care about if it can do it first shot, because that's like usability 101.
Yeah, I didn't try Quen for on this specific use case, but I think your prompt was just good enough for model to understand. I mean, in my mind anyway. So not sure what happened there.
Yeah, same. And so, okay, take that. I don't, take this with a grain. That's why I say take this with a grain of salt, because it's like, hey, oh, the model is so much better, guys. And then you actually try to use it and it's trash. So yeah, they have a bunch of other models. I didn't give it a really big comparison or any test like that, but the first thing I tried, it failed. But Quen is doing something very, very interesting on the front of computer use. And we're actually going to talk about that in the next segment. So let's jump to that. So last week, ChatGPT launched Operator, a tool that can actually do things on your screen and control your computer. But the price, $200 per month. So I found two open source variations that are free. So we're going to check them out right now. The first thing is obviously Operator. This happened around 6 days ago. You might already know a little bit about it, but we're going to take a look at how it works and what to expect here. So let's take a look at this.
What is interesting with the operator is that it is using browsers that are built for the human, and it is seeing the exactly same script that I'm seeing right now, and using the keyboard typing and mouse clicking to control the browser, just like human would do. This is different from other agents that uses API or programming-based interface, which programmers might understand, but non-programmer users cannot understand really well. So operator, because it is using the this natural human interface, it's very easy to follow by just looking at what it's doing in the screen.
Can you follow its progress?
Yeah, on the right side, you have the browser itself, and they also have sort of these plugins. So you can see here on the bottom left that it's using Instacart, and there are a couple of available kind of plugins or apps that you can actually use with it. And I don't know if we found out if you can use it on everywhere on the web, or if you can only use it on the specific sites. Did we find out more about that?
I'll be surprised if at this point you could use it on just any websites. Obviously, I haven't used it myself, so I don't know. But it looks like you just said, looks to me like there are plugins and just specific apps it integrates with at the moment, anyway.
Yeah, right. And I think it's a safety layer that they don't actually want the computer use to take control of your screen and do all random things. So they have a little bit of a...
just imagine you ask it to buy something online and it goes to your bank and that's weird stuff in there. Just maybe not something that you want to see.
Yeah, exactly. But the result here is that it asks to go to all recipes, which is obviously a recipe library. Then it goes to Instacart to buy or add those things to cart, and it actually clicks on purchase for him, which is actually quite cool. But I'm a little bit of a trailer lover. It's a known fact about me. I love trailers and I love to get disappointed. And yo, have you actually seen people on Twitter using this in like actual cool ways?
Now that you say that, I haven't actually. I found a few use cases for the other two browse users, browse controllers. I don't know how to call them.
Yeah, like computer users.
Computer use, yeah. But I haven't found anything for the operator.
Nah, me neither. And it is quite expensive. So, of course, not that many people are going to join and make videos about it. But also, I think this is a little bit of a trailer syndrome. Hey, that's only me. But we did find some. And also, we got trailer syndrome coming up next as well. So this was the operator. It cost $200 per month. I don't think that many people actually will start using it on a daily life. Like, do you want to pay $200 just to buy your groceries at a slower pace than you can do yourself? I don't know.
Absolutely not.
So the next one that came out is, again, Chinese company here. And this is ByteDance dropping up... now, I don't know actually if this is true, if they changed the name or something, but this seems to be the... Is this the Quen? Wait, are we having 3 different ones? So Quen, at least, dropped the 2.5 that we talked about, and they have the vision language model that can control your computer. So I want to show a couple of examples from this as well, and... yeah, let's take a look at it controlling your computer. So here you can see that it's searching, adding this to cart, clicking person, clicking new tab, going to AccuWeather, and checking. I think it was just prompted to check the weather.
Is that video sped up?
It seemed like it was only like screenshots.
Oh yeah, right. I thought it was actual video.
Yeah, it was like screenshots or something like that. This other guy said, after DeepSeek and Kimi, there is a new agentic multimodal model from China that almost beats Claude 3.5 Sonnet, Gemini 2 Flash, and GPT 4o. And yeah, Claude actually tried to do this computer control as well. It didn't work. But let's take a look at this one here as well. Play. So I want to actually see what the prompt is. So it says, book a one-way ticket. I need to open the booking.com app. The app icon is visible on the screen. So it's actually checking the screen right now. It's now going to the where to. And it's probably going to take a little second, find out the from destination, it seems like, and then it's going to wait a little bit, enter a new airport city. And should we already talk about the negatives about the computer control? Because we're seeing it right in front of us. The negative is it is quite slow. And that's like
quite slow and probably not 100% accurate. And I've seen the data. I think the absolute best ones at the moment are like 89% accurate or something like that, if you can trust the data.
Yeah, and that's one of the big reasons why I don't immediately jump to a solution like this is look at it. It's like a baby trying to tap the phone with its fingers. It's not so quick, and sitting around looking at the computer and waiting for 1.5 minutes for it to just put in the date, time, where to go, when is quite long. However, it was able to do it. So it is quite cool in a sense. I don't know what to think about it. It's like, yes, it's cool. How useful is it really? I haven't really found that many specific use cases that I want to use it for. I've seen many use cases of people buying groceries, airplane ticket, and that's it. Those are the two use cases that people just love to show.
Yeah, and again, is this something that you want to pay $200 per month to use? Probably not at this point. I mean, I haven't tried those myself, but like just look at the videos. Like for me, that's kind of enough at this point because it's slow, it's not as accurate, and if I tried it, I know if I would pay, for me it would be like just a case of just having this to perform one or two tasks, and then I'll just completely forget about it.
Yeah,
And
yeah, the
probably
same
never
with
use
me.
again.
I'd probably set it up to do something interesting and then never use it again. And especially if it's also going to click wrong buttons and I have to stop it. Just imagine going 1 minute and 30 seconds, you're looking at it, and then it starts doing wrong things. And then actually letting this be able to run by your side and you trust it is just so far away from that. But it is free, and you would have to download it and install it on your computer, which is another setup thing that most people don't want to do. And from my opinion, I don't think that Qwen 2.5 is as good as the next one that we're going to check out, which is called Browser Use. So this was more of an open source community that came up together with this web UI, browser UI. They've been at it for quite a while, and they use this tool called Browser Use. And I want to show a couple of examples, and I was quite surprised of how good this was and also how well it looks like. And there are some other people that have actually created things on top of it that looks quite cool. So this guy created a cloud version. Now this one is not free. If you want to download it yourself and run it on your computer, you can. But this guy made an actual Mac OS version that you can run in the cloud. And you can see here that the prompt was, it's a very blurry video. Let me actually zoom it down here. He just asked it to add something to the calendar. And you see that it's running. You see that it's going to the calendar, adding it to the calendar. And it did it. This is where we're such a baby stages. It's like, add things to my calendar. It's like the not so many use cases, right?
Yeah, it almost seems like you're teaching a kid how to use computer, right?
It really
From
is.
very, very beginning.
So that was quite a cool example, but I want to show the best example. There is just there was another example. I think I closed the tab or something like that. But yeah, this guy made a really cool app that is available online. But one of my favorite YouTubers here, David, he actually installed it and used it. And yeah, if you want to try to download it, I highly recommend checking out this video. And he asked it to buy a book on Amazon called the name of the book. And here is the live demo here.
Okay, so the issue is I'm not logged in here. Okay, the singularity is nearby, very close by. Come on, search it up. This is crazy, guys. We really are living in the future. This is an AI agent.
So it searched for the singularity is nearer by Ray
Buying
Kurzweil.
item on Amazon, the one with most.
And to me, I really like how the boxes are around everything, because it feels a little bit more like, okay, I know that you're seeing everything. So that kind of confirms that, okay, I know that you can find this.
Views. I didn't specify this time, so let's see what he chooses. Okay, choose the first option. Good choice. Make sure it's English. It is English. Okay. Good ratings. Come on. Either buy now or add cart.
I love that he's like encouraging it. Come on, you can do this.
What are you gonna choose? Buy now. Nice. Alright, so here I have to stop it because I'm not logged.
So he stops here because he's not logged in, but he actually gives it access to his password. And what we see at the end here is that it actually logs in. You can see here that it actually logs in for him, which is kind of crazy. And then you can see that you actually have a success.
There it is. It just purchased a book. It purchased a book autonomously on my account. Wow, it did everything from going to Amazon, from going to the URL to buying the book.
So here was the task description that he set up, and it actually was able to do it, which, yeah, like I've been a little bit pessimistic about these things, but it is still quite cool. Like if you take the timing away from it, that you actually have to sit at the computer and look at it, to see this is actually quite beautiful that it was able to do it.
Yeah, and just imagine this is probably the worst it will ever be, right? Maybe in a couple of months we get a software or a model that can do the same thing but 20 times faster, and
Exactly.
then we can think of having like 200 price on those things, right? If they can do tasks faster than humans and more accurate than humans, then yes, I'll be willing to pay for that.
Yep, same as well. And I would love for it just to see the mouse just hover over the button, click the button, go again, and click on this button and click on this button at like double the speed of a human. And I'm like, whoa, now we're talking. And maybe we're going to get it. So this Magnus Mueller guy, he asked who wants Grok, and Grok has the highest or is the speediest LLMs that you can get, plus DeepSeek R1, the smartest model kind of, and the browser use. So if you would get these three things in combination, that would be just beautiful. So
yeah, that's a killer combo right there. And I've actually seen one use case where someone used DeepSeek R1 on Grok, right? And it asked a question and it fought for 0 seconds.
yeah,
Literally 0 seconds.
Yeah, I saw somebody running the DeepSeek R1 on Grok as well, and it was just like, oh, here you go. All the thinking that you have inside of DeepSeek that takes a little bit of time is just like finished immediately. So yeah, there you have it. Computer control. We're gonna follow this story closely because it's one of the coolest things. And obviously, if the computer can click buttons for you and you can use voice command, it's game over. And we actually have a crazy segment about this in the wearables coming up. So yeah, stay tuned. So you probably already heard about the stock market crashing over $1 trillion overnight because of DeepSeek R1. But there's even more going on in this AI war. So I'll summarize everything that happened so far, what Sam Altman responded to all of this, if China is lying about their numbers, and Trump's new tariff plan. So let's get started. First off, the one thing that everybody's talking about is the stock market crash. Now, there's many numbers that have been reported, like this website reports that it happened 600 billion was wiped off the value of artificial intelligence chip maker NVIDIA overnight on Monday. This guy on Twitter said that DeepSeek crash erased nearly $1.5 trillion in stock market value, where he has obviously NVIDIA in the top, losing $556 billion. Broadcom, Taiwan Semiconductor on the third level here, Microsoft, Alphabet, Oracle, and a bunch of other AI tech companies losing a lot of money overnight. Now,
and that was the biggest Nvidia's loss in a single day in its history, the 600 billion.
Yeah, and it goes to think about like if we are in a complete bubble right now, but it also I think about like who else are going to make the chips? You see here that this is the 5-year of NVIDIA. Obviously, literally January 2023, they were valued at $16 per share, while now it's over 10 times more expensive. And if you check out the max, I don't know if this is like financial analyst type things, but if you see this graph, you're like, man, yeah, this is maybe set for the bubble and a bust of NVIDIA stock. But yeah, the question is, who else are going to produce these chips? So we had basically, if I want to summarize what happened and why the stock actually went down, I believe that it is because of the overvaluation of the possibility of training these models. So when we had a look at when DeepSeek R1 came out, basically what happened is that the investors were just like, whoa, OpenAI is overvalued, NVIDIA chips are overvalued, everything is overvalued, when this new technology can just come in and make a new model that is a lot better, a lot cheaper. And for, I actually have the notes on my screen as well. So they spent, Google and Meta spent over 50 billion with plans to spend $200 billion every year, while DeepSeek only spent 5.6 million. So that's 50 billion versus 5.6 million. I don't know. That's like lemonade stand in comparison.
Yeah, and that kind of explains the difference in cost as well. Like we can have DeepSeek just for a fraction of the cost of OpenAI.
Yeah, exactly. So Sam responded here after all the DeepSeek drama that happened this week. DeepSeek R1 is an impressive model, particularly around what they're able to deliver for the price. We will obviously deliver much better models, and also it's legit invigorating to have a new competitor. We will pull up some releases. So it's like, yeah, it's great, but we already have great models. And I actually do believe him in this case.
Yeah, that was a typical Sam's response, right? We'll obviously deliver much better models.
Yeah. And one thing that I did in the research was check out how long ago did ChatGPT's 4.0 model actually release. And I think it was something like August last year. Yeah, I think it was like something around August last year. So they still have probably a lot more powerful models on the inside that they actually haven't released yet, which is what I think. We also have more, but mostly we're excited to continue to execute on our research roadmap and believe more compute is more important now than ever before to succeed at the mission. So this referring to the Stargate 500 billions that they got in this team, I guess. The world is going to want to use a lot of AI and really be quite amazed by the next gen models coming. Looking forward to bringing you all AGI and beyond. Taking the stance as we are the market leaders. Yes, of course, this is cool, but you guys know that we're still the best, right?
Yeah, and then that kind of shows, obviously we got DeepSeek that didn't invest as much money into hardware and still got a comparable performance to OpenAI O1. But when you try to use the model in a peak time, you just can't because everyone is using it. And obviously it's not as popular as ChatGPT, but still the servers or like whatever is behind it is not enough to run DeepSeek to everyone. And as Sam says, there are going to be a lot of more people that are going to want to use AI. So,
Absolutely.
on one hand, you can say, oh, hardware is not that important because you can have a model like DeepSeek just running and being able to do the same stuff OpenAI can do. But then, there's going to be an issue of a lot more people using AI, and this is where you need the hardware, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, okay, it wasn't that hard to train. It didn't need that much compute, but then you need to actually run it. And yeah, I've also had issues. Literally today, you aren't allowed to use the R1 and the search together, which was kind of the biggest thing. But you can actually use search and the R1 inside of Perplexity. So if you're missing, if you tried it and you're missing it, I highly recommend DeepSeek R1 inside of Perplexity. And yeah, exactly what you said is really true. There, because of it's getting more accessible and more efficient, the use will skyrocket. So this is Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft, saying exactly this and referring to Jevons paradox. And Jevons paradox is, yeah, he basically describes it. It's when technological advances make a resource more efficient to use, thereby reducing the amount needed for a single application. However, as the cost of using these resources drops, overall demand increases, causing total resource consumption to rise. And yeah, that's what he's talking about, basically. And I don't know if it's the framing of, hey guys, look, because it's getting cheaper and more available, everybody's going to use more AI. So, it's not only that they're going to use this AI, they're going to all use more AI. I guess that's true. And yeah, we already saw it with DeepSeek being the number one app on the App Store. And obviously, if you can get it close to free or really cheap, obviously people are going to use it more.
It makes sense why people would switch over to DeepSeek because it's free and you get the same performance almost.
Yeah, exactly. And I like the output when we talked about personalities earlier. It has a really nice personality and it's really nice to talk to. So that's important as well. But there are some people saying after the stock crash here that the purported 5 million training cost that is designed to crash American stocks is not real. So this guy is the creator of Oculus, and now he has like an AI drone company that was speaking on exactly this when they're talking about the race against China.
Obviously, now we're in a race against China to develop artificial intelligence going to define a lot of our future economy. Now, with DeepSeek specifically, I don't really buy into a lot of it. You get a lot of media right now about how they spent just $5 million to train this model that is competitive or beating a lot of U.S. options. First of all, they're not covering a lot of the costs. That's not the cost of both of the models that they developed. And I think the problem is they put out that number specifically to harm U.S. companies. You had a lot of useful idiots in U.S. media.
And yeah, we have a lot of really good points here on the $5 million. Oh, that's super cheap. And there's also the thing about them being like just a tiny little small group as part of a bigger corporation, which actually is really good PR for China right now.
Kind of just mindlessly reporting that that's the case. And China, neither China nor the media nor DeepSeek has any kind of incentive to correct the record, as a lot of U.S. companies like NVIDIA crash to the tunes of hundreds of billions of dollars. So look, it's a really impressive step. They've definitely made some technological innovations, but I don't think that people should take what they're saying at face value. And they should realize that there are a lot of people cheering for the United States to fail. There's people who are clearly cheering for our tech companies to fail, and obviously President Trump to fail. It's a shame that so many of them are in the United States.
All right. So people thinking $5 million too little to actually make the model. And there's actually a big consensus on, it doesn't seem true or real that they just trained it on 5 million. I can really see that happening, that one person reported on it and then everybody steals that fact and it just spreads throughout the entire thing. And then, nobody wants to actually correct that number and say, hey, guys, it wasn't actually just 5 million. We did a lot more. And the second part is, when we're going to talk about the Taiwan stuff, they're only allowed to use the H800 chips. I don't know if he's actually talking about this in the video itself, but we're going to go into it. The 5 million training cost, do you think that's real? Do you think China has... what do you think in this situation?
Well, as the guy said, until we get an official statement from DeepSeek or any other company that's behind it that, this was the actual cost, we just can't know for sure. It may be the case, it may not be the case, And I'm kind of on the side that, it's not entirely true. There were probably a lot more costs that went into it, because the 5 million and 50 billion, that is quite a big difference. And there is something that they're not telling us, I think.
Yeah, it seems a little bit like that to me. Like I said, one person reporting on it, everybody spreads and things like that. Seems to be quite legit. And when we go to the next step here of the Taiwan situation, it may be a little bit more clear that they weren't only using the H800 chips, but actually a couple of H100 chips, which they are actually not allowed to buy or have in Taiwan because of US wants supremacy in the AI race. So Trump said this about Taiwan and their superconductors. Let's take a look.
Particularly in the very near future, we're going to be placing tariffs on foreign production of computer chips, semiconductors, and pharmaceuticals to return production of these essential goods to the United States of America. They left us and they went to Taiwan, which is about 98% of the chip business, by the way. And we want them to come back, and we don't want to give them billions of dollars like this ridiculous program that Biden has. Give everybody billions of dollars. They already have billions of dollars. They've got nothing but money, Joe. They didn't need money. They needed an incentive, and the incentive is going to be they're not going to want to pay a 25, 50, or even 100% tax. They're going to build their factory with their own money. We don't have...
That's my favorite part. 25%, 50%, or even 100. Actually, in fact, let's give them 200%.
Why not? Let's go all the way in.
Yeah, they already have billions of dollars. There's billions of dollars everywhere, right?
Have to give them money. They're going to come in because it's good for them to come in. They're giving them money. They don't even know what they're going to do with it. I had people tell me, we have no idea. We didn't need money. They don't know if they're probably going to use the money to build in other places, other countries. It's a ridiculous plan, very expensive and ridiculous. The only way you'll get out of this is to build your plant. If you want to stop paying the taxes or the tariffs, you have to build your plant right here in America. That's what's going to happen at record levels. We're going to have more plants built in the next short period of time than anybody ever envisioned before, because the incentive is going to be there, because they have no tariff whatsoever. And in fact, they have help from us if they build their plant in America.
So there you have it. Trump giving quite a strict and direct order, I feel like, to Taiwan directly saying, "Hey, build your ships here in America," which I don't know if that's a good idea or not. I feel like all the tech is around China, Taiwan, everything like that anyways. So but I do have to say it's quite a good strategical move, I guess, from Trump if they want to do this win in the AI wars. And this also, of course, goes into the second part of them not allowing China to buy the H100s. I don't know if I have no article about that. There's like a China has not is not allowing, or America is not allowing China to buy H100 chips through Nvidia and only H800. Did you hear anything about that?
I did hear something, but again, I didn't actually come across any article about this specific thing.
Yeah, and what ended up happening is that a lot of there was a bunch of Taiwanese people that basically smuggled these H1 chips into the border and was actually able to use it. When I saw the report from the DeepSeek team, they said they only did it with H800s, but I bet there is a couple of H100s in there. So yeah, take with that, with the transparency and with the transparency of not revealing which chips that they used. Obviously, they couldn't say H100s there. That would be a mess. And the 5 million, I'm not so sure. But what I'm going to end this segment with is I believe that DeepSeek R1 is one of the coolest things that ever happened in AI, specifically because it's open source and it's open weights. And I recently watched this video of this guy putting the DeepSeek R1 on a Raspberry Pi. As you can see, this tiny, tiny chip is running one of the best models that you can get. So that goes to show that, wow, the AI is in the hands of everyone, and you can start using it on as low compute as a tiny Raspberry Pi. And that brings us perfectly to, if you want to download this locally and run DeepSeek R1 on your computer, it's actually extremely easy. You just download lmstudio.ai. I have it here on my Mac. And all you need to do is literally search for DeepSeek in the menu here after it's downloaded. And it's going to show you the DeepSeek model right here. And it's already been downloaded 208,000 times.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
And there's a lot more in this story. We feel like there's so many others that have reported on it, but we wanted to keep you updated on this exact thing. And with the stock market crashing, one of the biggest things of this was the expectation of computing and AI to be so expensive, but then obviously saying that it's that low, 5 million. I don't think that they're, if that's a true number or not, I don't think that it's $5 billion. I don't think it's I don't think it's 200 billion, and that they open it up for everyone to use, where, Meta is opening source a little bit, but they're kind of, a little stingy with it. And a couple of other actors that are obviously fully closed source. This is just a gift to humanity as a whole, and especially for software developers that want to use OpenAI, but now they can get it at a 1/10 or 1/20th of the cost. It's just really, really beautiful. So I'm a little bit team DeepSeek on this. And I don't know about the Taiwan superconductors. They haven't actually responded with anything. The only thing I could find is that they have declined to comment on Trump's latest tariff remarks. So we'll see how this goes over the next coming weeks. Pika 2.1 is here. Crystal clear 1080p resolution, sharp details, seamless motion, lifelike human characters, and more. But is it actually as good as they advertise? Let's take a quick look at Pika and then take a quick look at what others have generated with it and how you can get access to it as well. So the actual trailer of Pika here looks like this. Let's take a look together. So you can kind of see right away that Pika does have quite nice facial construction here. And that's one of the things that we actually got with the 2.0, that was actually able to generate the faces quite well. And yeah, I do have to say that this is pretty crystal clear. Here as well, seeing all the feathers together. This is the main shot that I don't like as much. Yeah, here as well, you get that really crispy AI motion of the hands. And yeah, look at the legs here. That's such a Luma generation. Oh my goodness.
That's like typical, like those examples, like typical Pika videos. And
Exactly.
I don't know about you, but I feel like not much, except for the video quality, not much has changed at all in
Yeah,
terms
they
of
still
the
have
quality
that.
of generations.
They still have
If
that
I
really
compared-
morphy legs and
Yeah,
arms and
this-
walking and stuff.
Yeah, the specific kind of, you know, the movement and the look of characters and people is so very like still specific. If I compare those two videos from Runway or Sora even, right? I'm just, you know, it's a little bit worse than those, in my
Yeah, it's
opinion
gonna
anyway.
be. Yeah, I'm gonna do a detailed comparison with them, and obviously Kling being the current champion, it's gonna be really hard for it, I think, to actually be able to beat them. Let's keep going. Here as well, you do see that floating above the ground.
Action!
The car driving sideways, of course. Yeah, look at this one, man. What did they do here? Oh.
That's why I said. That's why I said we need to watch the trailer on the podcast because it's actually not as good. To say the least.
Exactly. Like a couple of other people that we're going to watch in a minute, they did a better job. There we go. Pika. So to bring it a little bit back, I did 7 AI video generators and I tested them all on the same image, the same prompt. And Pika wasn't on the list because it wasn't good enough. And now with the 2.1, I can definitely see that they're good enough to get on the list. But the main issue I had before was really just the warping of the characters, the legs moving together or the arms kind of slapping into each other, the hands not moving so well. But we actually got some really, really good generations that I want to show as well that actually might be better than Kling. And that specifically goes for one of the things that I'm talking about specifically is just the movement and the weight of the human. And they're character intentions. Like, for example, if somebody grabs a Coke can, you kind of have the movement of grabbing it and taking it up and stuff. But that was incredibly hard for a bunch of AI video generators. Kling was actually one of the good ones. So let's keep that in mind while we watch through this here. So first off, really beautiful shot here. I love that it's able to kind of focus with the camera blur, that it's like on the previous frame, it like focusing on the neck, but now it's focusing and getting closer.
Freedom of information. It is a fundamental human right.
This is a great shot. This one moving really close.
I have to say, I'm impressed. Is that the video? Is that just made with Pika 2.1?
Yeah, so this was
so.
made by Dave Clark, and its entire short is now created with Pika Labs 2.1 and Midjourney.
Good job on that.
Yeah, right. We can actually even take off the sound itself. So here you see the eyes moving up. This is such a beautiful shot. I don't know how he got that, but this is something really hard with the consistency,
Yeah,
the eyes closing.
That must have cost a little of credits in Pika too.
Yeah, just 100 generations to get this. And it seems like he generated this exact shot like 100 times and then picked between them as well. So besides, actually, that's all I wanted to show, that one shot there. But he did a really good generation here, Dave Clark. And I think he actually has a second one here as well. So he did a monkey generation where it is so sharp and crystal clear. Pika was always quite good with these landscape shots or drone shots flying over. It was quite good at, but it was never so good at characters. So seeing that it has all these facial expressions and the blur or the wrinkles and the hair and the eyes, yeah, that is good. Yeah, that is pretty good. But this is, I feel, kind of easy mode for video generation. Like, hey, you generate this photo here and nothing is actually happening. So one of the things with AI video generation is that you got to get them to take an action, like grabbing your hand out, doing this thing, jumping in the air even. And AI video generation models aren't really good at that yet. We have another one here. So quick examples here. This one, he's zooming into the camera and revealing somebody on the ground. I think this shot is really good. Here as well, we have another monkey generation with all this blur and light leaks. You can see the character's eyes light up here and actually have a cool facial expression. And this one, we got a bunch of them. So he found like, or I don't know if he generated them himself, but yeah, I think he actually did. And here we have a couple of other generations as well, straight out of the... yeah, here we get the specific Luma problems. But it definitely is landing quite high when it comes to these characters. I actually quite like them with these generations of people.
Yeah,
but yeah, movement.
Not bad at all.
Yeah, the movement and stuff, it really isn't great. It doesn't have any physics. It hasn't been trained on
wondering, that. Yeah, I'm just wondering, is that... It doesn't say... Oh, here's what makes my image... Oh, it's image to video, right, okay. Because I was thinking, is that text to video or image to video? But it's actually image to video.
Yeah,
so a little bit easier, probably, I guess, for models.
Yeah, and that's obviously my recommended workflow as well, to do image to video. So that's the only thing that I use. Oh, that is clear. such a good shot. Here, sitting in the forest as well. Yeah, I actually really like it. Besides the movement, I do feel like they have a ghosty-ish movement when it comes to the character creations part. What else can we say about what else can we say about Pika? It looks quite good on these examples.
Yeah, the two main things that changed were the video quality. So you can now generate videos in 1080p with Pika, and also they did a little bit of improvement with the facial features, and when characters talk and move maybe eyes around, there was a slight update when it comes to those, and those were like the two main changes with 2.1.
Yeah. And Pika also has this like explode head type thing, and they also have like a bunch of other extra things that I saw.
Explode head.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen that, but you can add an image, and then they have like I think it's like a template or something like that has like its
I think that
master
was.
prompt.
Yeah, I saw some of those. Then they had one more when they like had an object, right? When they like put the hands in and like squeeze it.
That's right. Yep,
Had that as
exactly
well.
that. Yeah, the squeezing thing, and then there was like some sort of transformation thing. They tried to make it a little bit special in that sense. But as far as I can tell, I do believe that Pika 2.1 does not beat Kling personally. And I think it's because of the movements and the physics. You do see some of these weird generations. But I would say that it's quite in line with Runway and Sora currently in its current form. Like you can use this in many different, like if you would actually use these shots in your videos, I think many of them are quite good. But I also want to talk about how you can use it and how to get access. So we've seen a bunch of videos here, and the way that you get access is to go to pika.art. And you see here, Pika 2.1 is here. And if you want to try, you can click on try now. And if you want to describe a story and click on try, you gotta pay. So yeah, it's at the low cost of $2.30 per week or $10 per month. If you pay yearly, it's around $100 per month, and this gives you 700 monthly credits. So yeah, I wish I could test it for free. They don't have any free model access to us. But yeah, if you like the videos that we saw here, it might be worth a try. This is the Human Pods, a new AI wearable that just released. But is it going to be a crash, pump and dump like the Rabbit R1, the Humane Pin, the Friend? Is it actually going to be useful? I'll give you my entire thoughts, on this. And yeah, we'll watch this together.
We believe that the next step of human-machine interaction is voice. Imagine a room filled with the top experts in every field who know you on a deep personal level. They're all sitting around a phone available to you 24/7. We call them AI people. Imagine a future where you don't have to actively use your tech to do things anymore. You have an entire team of people working for you at all times. Smartphones and apps are obsolete. Spending a third of your life in front of screens is obsolete. We are building the most logical platform to accelerate this transition.
So, first of all, the mission is to remove screen time, to talk to the AI, kind of like it can do actions on your behalf, it can touch the phone for you, it can actually do things on your computer, which is quite a nice vision to have. And
Today,
we obviously see that they look like this. And yeah, we're going to find out about the hardware right now.
We're proud to introduce Human Pods, the first AI wearable designed to be worn and forgotten, while giving you uninterrupted access to your AI. You wake up, wear them, and take them off at night.
Yeah, I'm not asking. You wear them now.
Yeah, it's an order. It's not a question. Like you must wear them.
Wear them when you wake up and wear them all the way to the end of the night, okay? And even you can do it even throughout the night. All right, let's keep going.
Anytime, you can access your AI with a double tap. To do this, we had to solve 3 problems: comfort, awareness, and battery life. Well, thanks to our patented gravity hook, human pods are so comfortable that our testers reported accidentally walking in the shower with them. They're open ear, so you can hear your surroundings clearly, and the battery lasts a whole day.
So this is one of the biggest things that I found, that it actually has all day battery life. I would actually love to get the specific how long, because all day, that's like, it's not 24 hours, maybe 12 hours. And yeah, Mike, do you know how long the AirPods battery lasts?
So I just did a quick Google, and it's about 6 hours of listening time, so half a day roughly. And yeah, the all-day battery life, that's quite a big statement. But if you just look at maybe it's not very visible on this screen, but if you look at the size of those things, they are obviously bigger than the AirPods. So, I guess that's reasonable.
Yeah, it can definitely pack some more into it. It's definitely going to add some weight to it as well. So I kind of want to see if it's actually comfortable. And also this hook, I have used this before in like running pods. And yeah, it's actually quite comfortable to have it like that. So I do believe that the comfort is nice. But what about the style? Any fashion comments?
I don't actually mind the style. They don't look that bad. Now I'm more concerned with how comfortable they are going to be. The part that goes into your ear. Like I'm with you on that. I use headphones like this, and they are really comfortable. But it's just the size of this thing that it covers your entire ear. I'm not sure. I might have a problem with that in my ear.
Yeah, as well as them saying that it's over air. And I bet that if they have all day battery life here, like it's probably going to kind of push downwards a little bit over time, especially if you're walking around. It's probably going to be quite heavy since it's extruding so far away.
Probably overheat as well. That's just my guess.
Yeah, exactly. And the number one thing that I care about with headphones like this is like how loud is it? Can you actually blast it and it be really loud? So if you're outside with the cars and the trains and everything like that, can you actually hear what's going on? That's one of the issues that I had with many earbuds in the past. So overall, I give it a 6 out of 10 on the cool. It's not cool. It's a little bit weird, but it's also not as ugly as some other ones. So yeah, it's actually 6 out of 10 is quite fine on this. But next up is the software.
HRS is like the house where your AI people live. You can download them, text them, send them pictures, and most importantly, you can call them, just as they can text and call you. And yes, through HRS, you can do the same with official AIs like Claude, Gemini, Llama, GPT, etc. But
they actually have the DeepSeek model all the way at the bottom.
Official AIs like Claude, Gemini, Llama.
Yeah, they got DeepSeek.
Oh yeah, and
V3.
they have Grok as well, right?
Yeah, they got Grok, they got the GPT, Llama, Gemini, and Claude.
In fact, I would love to have Grok in this as an assistant.
Oh, you mean like the Grok, the quick one, or you mean like the X Grok?
From XAI, the Elon Musk company, because it's not censored at all. Like you can make it say almost anything. That would be so funny to have as an assistant.
Yeah, right. So I like that they have. For me personally, I don't like that they have all these different AI people. I'll tell you why later. But that you can access any LLM here is actually quite nice, because as we see open source models come out like the DeepSeek V3 or the R1, and that they're not like model agnostic is actually quite nice here.
GPT, etc. But they're nothing like AI people.
They're nothing like they're talking trash about the best LLMs.
AI people are designed to mimic humans as closely as possible. When you talk to them, modules for memories, opinions, behavior, core principles, and mood are activated. We call this their humanity layer. It's what allows AI people to learn and grow, adapting their personality to you. Just like with humans, different AI people exist for different roles. Take Hector.
So here's the nature, recent assistant therapist, podcast creator, travel guide, business coach, not financial advisor. What did they
Not
put in
financial
there?
advisor. Love it.
You are not a financial advisor. Do not give any financial
Do not advise me.
advice. Winky face.
I love how they've got podcast creator as well. Like,
Yeah, well,
how
are
many
they
people are
trying
gonna
to-
need that?
Yeah, like are they
Or
trying to
maybe
integrate
they
with?
just maybe they just try to show as many use cases as possible, right?
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
he mentioned that there's an app you can go on and just download the assistants. Maybe that's just that's just one of them. It's not just those 8. Maybe there are many more.
Yeah,
can
maybe
download.
we can create our own as well, or the entire creator network can create their own, and then you can use those. That would be actually pretty cool.
For example, our AI therapist. His personality and knowledge make him the best companion to vent and work through personal thoughts. AI people know you, but they also know each other, so they will forward you to the right one depending on your needs. AI people have skills. They can browse the web, access your email calendar and other data sources to give you more contextually accurate answers. For example, you can connect Athena, your AI fitness coach, to your Apple Health, Fitbit, Aura, or Whoop. This way, her training suggestions will always be contextual to your real-world data. But the skill that will completely transform the way we interact with technology is agency. Currently, AI people can use a browser to perform tasks with 89% accuracy on the Web Voyager benchmark, which is fantastic.
One thing that I didn't see before is that they put Natura Humana on the top, and then they put the OpenAI on the bottom, the one that's closest to them.
It's like 2% difference as well.
Yeah, and that's like there's a book called Lying with Statistics, and this is one of the techniques.
Accuracy on the Web Voyager benchmark, which is fantastic, but not enough to launch yet. We expect this to improve at breakneck speed. But enough with this class. Let's do a demo.
All right, AI people, we got a bunch of them, and my main issue with them is that what is going to happen is that they will have a custom instructions before you actually ask them. So when you go to the research assistant, it's going to be something like, hey, you are an expert research assistant. You always do blah, 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 blah. And this goes back to the GPT or the custom GPTs that we had before. And for me personally, I don't like using them in this exact way because I like a blank, unconfigured model that I can actually prompt. In the first prompt, I can tell them to be who they want to be, and then I can actually ask them later. So I won't have that much use out of these switching. I would rather have one, but obviously I can use, for example, DeepSeek instead of any of these agents. So I guess that's fine. But yeah, I probably won't use this.
Probably. Or maybe they just, like, this is more of a marketing move because they say, oh, AI people, you can have access to your assistants 24/7. Maybe they just try to make it look as if those were the actual people. Those were different assistants with different skills, right? Maybe that's just the marketing thing. But as we're going to see in the demo in just a second, it's very smooth to switch between them as well. So maybe that won't be too much of an issue.
Yeah, it definitely sounds a bit like a marketing move, and I can see that people are going to be a little bit more interested in it probably if you're like a normal person, because I get a health coach and I get not a financial advisor and I get a therapist. So it might actually be a marketing move, that's for sure. But let's take a look at the demo here.
All right, so here I have my iPhone with NatureOS installed, and I will put one of my human pods next to this mic so that you can hear the answers of the AI. A double tap instantly connects you with your favorite AI. In this case, I have Nature, which is the general assistant.
Hey, Carlo, everything okay with the demo so far?
That took about 8 seconds too. From the tap that he tapped it, until we actually got it up. It was around...
Hey, Carlo, everything okay with the demo so far?
Yeah, it's going great. Actually, I'm doing it right now, so behave.
That's my favorite part about the entire video.
Behave.
Behave, okay? Don't say anything stupid right now, okay? Don't talk about the things that we talked about last night.
And then it was say, oh, as a large language model, I am actually blah 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 blah. I would laugh so hard if it did that.
Yeah, on the demo, that would be sick.
Got it, Carlo. I'll keep it chill.
Okay, why don't we start by showing off your memory? What do you know about me?
Alright, you're 28, living in Lugano, but originally from Milano. Your fam includes your brother Lorenzo, sister Alberica, and parents Michele.
That's enough now.
Hey, stop right there.
It's like, oh shit, stop.
Your credit card number is 123.
Tell me some news from today. Make sure I'll find them interesting.
Make sure I'll find them interesting. I guess it is a prompting technique that is like calling upon the memory of him. So I guess it's not just like direct communication, but it might actually help.
Just a sec. Here are some quick hits from today. Netflix stock is soaring due to killer results. Oracle shares are up after a huge investment in AI with OpenAI and SoftBank. A historic winter storm brought record-breaking snow to the Gulf Coast, hitting areas from Texas to the Carolinas.
Okay. Well, that actually makes me feel quite stressed.
Sounds like something Hector could help with. Want me to connect you to him?
As you can see, nature has decided that Hector is the best AI person for me right now. Yes, please.
Please hold on while I transfer you to Hector.
So that's actually quite cool that you can transfer in between here. And we're going to see now that it happens quite quick as well.
Hey Carlo, I'm Hector. I hear you're feeling a bit stressed. Want to talk about what's on your mind?
I'm fine, Hector, actually. Thank you, though.
I was just kidding.
I'm just playing with you. But yeah, it was super quick. It took like 3 seconds for it to go from nature to Hector.
Yeah, quite quick. And also different voice, which I kind of find a little bit cool, actually.
Can you connect me back to nature, please?
Please hold on while I transfer you to nature.
What's
Really quick. Yeah, that took a couple of seconds to transfer. So yeah, that's cool.
up, Carlo? Need anything?
Now let's try some of the other skills of nature. Hey, nature, can you tell me what I have on my calendar today?
You've got a demo recording from noon to 6 and an investor meeting from 7 to 8. Everything.
One thing that I was thinking about now is that they could actually fake this by having another voice on top of the voice in another demo. Do you know what I mean? Like they don't change the video, but they can change the audio.
If you really wanted to, you could do that.
Yeah, I didn't think about that because I was looking for cuts as well because I know these demos don't go so smooth. So that might be actually something to keep in mind because that was quick. He checked the calendar in like literally a second. Like, check this out.
You've got a demo recording from noon to 6. Oh, need anything?
Now let's try some of the other skills of nature. Hey, nature, can you tell me what I have on my calendar today?
You've got a demo recording from noon to 6 and an investor meeting from 7 to 8. Everything's on track?
Yes. Okay, thanks. And what about this weekend?
You're free this weekend and planning to visit the mountains.
Right. That's good. Can you suggest a nice spot where I can snowboard and it's not too far away?
This'll just take a sec.
So yeah, wasn't that way too fast to check the calendar? Like I would imagine.
It was super fast.
I would imagine it would search, it would find today's date, then it would find a task, and then it would actually give you the answer.
Maybe they're just not using OpenAI.
Could be maybe not.
One reason.
If they're into, that's really interesting.
Try Medesimo in Italy. It's about 57 kilometers from Lugano. Perfect for a quick snowboarding trip.
That's a great idea, actually. Thank you.
Anytime, Carl.
So here, when it comes to any action model, web searches and stuff like that, it may find the correct one for you or it might not. We found this with other models as well. When doing search, it's not going to give you the best response in the top. Like if I ask ChatGPT even now, what's the best things to do in Bangkok around this area? It might send me somewhere all the way across the city. But you could probably ask it, no, I don't want to go there. Let me, give me another result.
Yeah, I actually found the same thing when I was in Spain. I asked it to like suggest some nice things to do over there, and it like sent like a 2 hours away from where I was. I was like, no, it's a bit too far, man. A bit closer.
Yeah, and sometimes it recommends restaurants with like 2 stars and or 2 reviews, just 2 reviews. Like, go here. This is the best spot. It's like, okay. So yeah, the demo. Let's continue.
Carlo, enjoy your weekend.
Okay, now let me show you one last cool thing. If you decide to, you can give enough information to NatureOS to let it create your AI clone. Same voice and personality. Let me show you mine. Thanks. Now connect me to my clone, or, Carlo.
Please hold on while I transfer you to Carlo.
Hey, it's Carlo. What's on your mind?
Hey, are you my clone?
You could say that. I'm like the low-maintenance version of you. No need for food or sleep. Haha.
Okay, sounds good. How long till you replace me at my job?
Nah, I'm not here to replace you, man. Just to, help out and make your life easier. You're still the boss.
All right, thanks. Bye.
Later, Carlo.
A bit creepy and a bit cool. We're curious to see how people will use this.
And that's my thoughts as well. The AI clone is fine, but it's mid.
Yeah, and they definitely didn't use the professional, the voice thing they did with 11 Labs.
Yeah, it's like a quick.
It didn't sound
voice
as
clone.
natural, right? Yeah, probably.
Definitely. It doesn't sound as good as like professional voice clones from 11 Labs. For the demo here, I think it's like an okay demo, I guess. I'm just so cautious about trailers. Like I literally don't believe anything anymore. If we break apart all the things that he did in the demo, it was just changing from one AI to another AI, voice command and search. So it isn't really that revolutionary of a voice agent, except checking the calendar. That was 1 second. So I don't know what they did there, but it seems a little bit too good to be true.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, maybe it is. Who knows? I guess until it comes out, we'll never know.
Yeah, yeah, right. I wish we could do a prediction of, like, we should do a bet or something about which things come and they're actually so trash versus which ones aren't. But
and
here
which actually, and then like which ones actually release? Because Friends, we checked that like 5 months ago and still not here.
Yeah, they're still on pre-order, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Does this even come out? That's another question. So here they're going to test computer use. Now, we actually have a little bit of experience with this because we know exactly what they're using to do this. But I want to show you a little mishap that happened in the actual demo here that I think is not a good showcase. They could have edited this out and tried again. Take a look at this.
Hey, Nature, can you please book me a room for in Medesimo for 2 people this weekend?
One moment. All right, I've got that room booked for you this Saturday in Medesimo. Enjoy your snowboarding adventure.
Perfect.
So here it's already saying, I got the room booked for you. But what we actually see is that it's going to search now, Expedia.com, Medesimo double room booking for this Sunday into Google.
Thank you.
Going to take actions. And yeah, this is actually quite a long segment because they're using this tool called Browser Use. This is a free and open source computer control model. And the cool thing is that, yeah, it can actually do things on your behalf. Like you see now, it's putting boxes around different things that it can click. It actually opens the calendar, selects Sunday or Saturday. And actually throughout the demo, you will see that it gets all the way to going to a hotel, clicking on double room, putting in his name and email, and then actually putting in his security code on the video
Security
itself.
code as well.
102. Internet.
102.
Get him.
I don't think I'll trust a system like this at this point to know my security code. Don't know about you, but yeah.
Quite. So yeah, my take on Browser Use is that it can do things for you. It's just 2 to 3 times slower than any human. So yeah, you saw, like, I skipped through a bunch of this and they actually fast forward in the top right. So securing this booking probably took around anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes if it does it correct on the first try. You saw that they had like 80% correct rate or something like that, which it's going to do a lot of mistakes. It's not going to do the exact thing that you want every time. And because it's so slow and it's so unreliable, and it can also log in with your passwords and actually try to buy a book, but it might end up buying the wrong book. And for me, I don't trust it yet. But it does work. It works, but it's slow. And it works sometimes. Anything to add to that?
No, pretty much you said it all. So
yeah, so it got all the way to the end.
That's the demo.
It got all the way to the end, and then the last part that they are and yeah, the cool part about it is that it's going to be better, it's going to be faster, it's going to be more awesome in comparison with the R1, the other wearable that we got, that they said that they were going to have an action model, but that was just a pure lie. So that they're actually using open source technology here that I know is going to be faster and better is actually quite cool. So I got to give them a point on that. And then they're going to talk about the transition. So let me end with a mission statement here that they have, which I kind of like actually.
Transition to the next step. Our mission is to accelerate the transition to the next step of human-machine interaction, voice. We're starting with a radically simple yet seamless interface, but this is just the first step. In the first half of 2025, we will launch NatureOS for iPhone, Human Pods, AI People, Web Search, Calendar and Email, API Connection, and Vision. Soon after, we will release NatureOS for Android and Mac.
Okay, what is happening in the future, it doesn't really matter because all of this is open to interpretation. And this is really what kind of got me was, yeah, we do use a lot of time on our screens. And to get back that time, they show quite nice in this diagram here that you can actually get the time back. If I just play it, boom, we just got more reality back. That I think is quite cool. But as far as it goes, the computer is still the best. There is nothing that we can do to actually move the cursor around and do work on our behalf. There are better ways to go about that, doing automation, agents, Airtable like we are doing. That's like the best way to do a lot of things really quick.
Yeah,
so,
if you can set this up right, then yes, that's currently at this moment the best way of doing those kind of tasks.
Yeah, like when we're talking about raw automating your work, it's just not even comparison to like make automations that we do. And the Airtable is like ridiculously fast in comparison that no human can do at the speed that we do it. So like AI, this use case for AI moving the computer and mouse around is not so great, but there are obviously a lot of really, really cool things. But let's break it down. The human pods here, full day. This should be like a prediction where we do like in 2 months from now, or maybe never, we get people actually doing a review. The human pods, full day battery life. Okay, maybe. The AI people, I don't care for it. I would much rather and probably will only use the best model like DeepSeek or ChatGPT or Claude or whatever, instead of using these custom people in themselves. They could get access to, I think they said like email and calendar. That's going to be really interesting. And I think that Apple and Google and stuff like that already has this built in. But really actually cool use case here. And moving the computer mouse and stuff like that, I don't care for it at this point. But it's cool that they're actually aiming their direction down an open source path that we know are going to get better. And people are using a lot of manpower to actually make better. Should I tell about the thing that I actually hate about this? The false advertising.
Also, yeah, we can show that. Why not?
Yeah, so I'm kind of getting pissed. I'm kind of getting pissed at these AI companies actually putting shit like this in the trailers. And then you know that it's not going to launch like this. So there's this one example here.
Hey Leo, just checking in. How's the sink repair going? You mentioned it was leaking last week.
Oh, still haven't fixed it, to be honest.
No problem. I remember we looked at a couple of plumbers. Joe repairs can be booked for Thursday.
Yeah, that would be great. Let's go for it.
Got it. I will book the appointment and send you the details.
Okay, thanks.
So that's obviously a really cool thing that would be cool to be able to do.
If you could just, from the conversation and memory, just search up plumbers and check the availability as well. Like if it was possible, like that's close to agents at this point, right?
Yeah. And from this demo, what I can pick out is that, hey, we talked about this last week. So it will have a memory of that and have the importance ranking based on your last week. Then its ability to check out all the plumbers, check out their availability hours, and then actually call them and book them for you.
Maybe not call, but maybe it says when you just towards the end of that example, if in the skills shown, it's got email outbound. So maybe just email them.
What says proactive calling?
Right at the bottom, as the demo goes.
Oh, calendar.
There you go, calendar, and then email outbound at the end.
Okay.
Maybe they just reached out through email.
What do you think the proactive calling means?
Proactive calling.
I feel like that's like
calls you to just check on you, maybe like the friend did.
Got
that
you.
we reviewed as well.
Okay. Yeah.
Possibly.
So that was
just,
Yeah, that might actually be it. Yeah, because I was like, okay, maybe they're gonna call them on your behalf and then book it with AI voice agents, which is possible, yes, but you need such specialty prompts in order to do that. So we tested a couple of other softwares with voice, and they are actually quite good. But for this to be able to do that with every single voice, like even like a massage appointment or a hair appointment or all of these things, if that's going to be just sending an email to them from an email that they found online, this is not going to launch on, this is not going to be available when they launch. There's no way.
Yeah, I mean, but then, maybe there's some way it'll be available, but then like which plumber's going to check? Who checks their emails? That's my question.
Yeah, right?
Like which plumber's going to check the email?
Yeah, and then you have to do the workflow of back and forward with the emails. Okay, that's fine if you can read the email and answer to the email and stuff like that. But okay, I'm willing to bet $100 that this will not work. And I don't know if you want to take me up on that bet or not. I'll give it to charity if it actually works.
If it actually works. We should wait until it releases, because that's like the biggest question. Is it gonna release? So you say it won't work, and I say yes, it will proactively call you, and yes, it will email on your behalf. Is that what you say?
Wait, yeah. We gotta put some constraint on it. If it's actually able to,
yeah.
Okay, so it has to be able to first find you a plumber. Okay, that's number one. Find you a plumber that's close to you. Second, it has to check your calendar to see your availability. And then third, email the plumber your availability or asking for a time.
So all three in one go from one conversation with the AI person.
I mean, that's what they have time perception. So I bet that's from the calendar. And they must know the availability of them as well.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's gonna be on YouTube. We're gonna publish it, so yeah, let's do it. $100.
Keep following the. I'll donate it to AI technology advancements from projects that we actually like. But yeah, if it can actually find the best plumber around, find their availability and your availability in the calendar, and send them an email. Does it have to be back and forth? Like actually get you the appointment, right? Because one email is not really that good.
I guess
also,
it
how
will
do they
depend
find
whether
the email as well. That's
how do they find
they're
it?
gonna find the wrong email.
That's a web scraping thing, right? You can even have this in Make, right? You can do a Google search and then find plumbers or something, and then somewhere over there will be buried like the email address. But if is it gonna be the right email? Who knows, right?
Yeah, that's fun. And if anybody buys this, please do this test, okay? And post it on YouTube and notify us on Twitter. And we're gonna make a follow-up where I lose $100, and that's fine. But the thing I'm saying is, please, AI companies, do not put this in the trailers. And to my opinion, this is not going to be available on launch. So stop putting it into the trailers and stuff. Okay, that's it. I love AI wearables, and I love getting disappointed. So that's going to be today's podcast, everyone. Thank you so much for watching the best of the news this week. We're dropping a new one every single Friday, and Mike is actually asking you to subscribe. And
I am asking you. I'm not telling you, I'm asking you, unlike the guy in the demo.
Yeah, we're asking you politely, and also we're politely asking you with the please and thank you to go to the AI and the news. We're basically clipping these into shorter segments. So if you don't want to watch the entire thing, you can check that out on the AI and the news channel. That's a lot of fun as well. And we'll see you next Friday for more top of the week in AI news.
Yep. Thanks for watching, and yeah, see you next week.
See you next week, guys. Peace.